Hey guys, so today I'm going to have this tutorial be about bussing. In this little clip that I made, I have three different layers of synths. One's a piano, one's a deadmau5y type pluck, and the other is kind of a deeper pluck. And I wanted just to do a tutorial showing how I bus my channels. And if you don't know about bussing, I wanted to tell you how awesome bussing is, because I'm kind of late in the game to bussing. I've been producing for almost 10 years, and I'd say I've only really been bussing for the last year. That's embarrassing to say, but it's true. So I'll show you a little bit in this demo file of how I used bussing, and then I'm going to go to a new file and show you from scratch how to create a bus and what bussing does. So in this, I have these three synths, and basically what bussing did was I all had them all of the audio, or all of the output from each channel, has been routed into one specific channel that I named synths. So that means that all of the sounds are all coming into here. So if I start at the beginning, this is all three sounds molded together. And from here, I'm able to put effects. I have 1, 2, 3, and a fourth that I'm not using right now, that all are basically affecting all three channels at once through this bus right here. And you can really hear them being put to action towards the end of this clip when I start automating some of the parameters on those effects. So I really have, I don't think I have a reverb affecting, but I have some cool effects that I'm really having grow, and it's affecting all three of these together in that last section. So let me show you how to do this. Let me open up new file. Communicating with the propeller head authorizations. Okay, we're good. So I have these three synths here, and they are unbussed right now. So what I want to do is I want to create a bus that all three of these are going to go to. So I'm going to start by clicking on my first instrument, and it's called Combinator 1. We'll call this Deep Pluck. Why not? And as you can see here, as the audio output, it is set as master section. Now this is where we're going to create our bus. So you click on that master section and create new output bus. You can also do Command G. Now right below this instrument is now created bus 1. And that means that all of the sound coming from here is now going to actually be coming out of this bus 1. I'm going to show the insert effects so that I can add effects into here. Now I'm going to go back to my sequencer, and I'm going to click on my second instrument, which is the piano. I'll just call this house piano. As you can see, the output was automatically set to the master section, so I'm going to click on that, and now we have bus 1, and I'm going to route that to bus 1. So now everything coming from house piano is going to be going to this bus right here. Now I'm going to go to my third instrument, which is the deadmau5 type synth, and I'm going to call this mau5 sound. And once again, I'm going to click on this audio output and switch it to bus 1. Now I'm going to scroll back up to go to that bus here, and I'm going to rename the bus, and I'm going to call it synths, so that if you start bussing in your tracks frequently, you're going to want to really make sure you stay organized and separate your synths from your drums, from your vocals, because I like to bus all of my leads, all of my basses, all or most of my vocals, drums. Obviously, you don't want to do everything, but I like to group as much as possible so that I can have it kind of glues everything together in a way that is harder to get if you really affect everything individually. So now if I play what I have, let's start with the synth line. This is what it sounds like with everything bussed into here, but there's no effects, so it'll sound exactly like it should, even if I didn't have a bus. Cool. Now if I add, let me just show you a couple examples of what you can do. Let's add a sidechain. So this is a very easy way to sidechain more than one channel without having to create a sidechain for every single channel. Now I'm bussing everything I want sidechained into here, and now it'll sound like this. Here, as I mess with the dry wetness of this side chain. It's gonna be hard to hear, obviously, without a kick in there. But that side chain, let me show you something that you'll be able to hear a lot more. Let me add in a distortion. I love this rack extension right here by Rob Papin called the RP Distort. Great distortion. Let's use, I called this Dioro distortion. So let me show you what it sounds like when I start using this. Now this distortion is going to affect all three channels. I'm going to press play with the dry wet all the way down so you won't hear it, and then I'm going to bring it in slowly. I'm sorry that I just broke your speakers, but I was able to demonstrate how it affected everything. So, you know, you really can do, you have endless possibilities with this. You can get really creative once you start bussing. So I hope that this tutorial helps you get an idea of bussing and maybe allows some people who have never used it before to start using it. And if you have used it before, maybe you saw how I personally used it. I like to use it for my side chains, for my reverbs, for automating cool fills. Like say I have a fill at the end that I want to sound different than the rest. Why don't you just create whatever effect? Let's do this retro transformer that I have. Let me delete the distortion and the side chain, and I'll put it on radio so it sounds kind of like a megaphone, and I can have that bypassed, but then when it hits the last section of this measure, I'm going to automate and enable this effect. So listen, this will be unaffected, and then at the end you'll get this kind of radio effect. You heard how that immediately sounded different, but it did it to all of the synths. That could be even cool if you did the effect on all the drums, bass, synths, everything together. Kind of, you can get some cool stuff going. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Check back every Thursday for a brand new tutorial. And please let me know in the comments, guys, what you want to learn, and I'll try and make it happen.